Welcome to another classic View from the Boundary interview. Today is really one of my favourites. We're heading to the Oval on a sunny day in 2009 with England closing in on an Ashes victory thanks to an inspired performance from 23-year-old Stuart Broad. In the commentary box there's much excitement as we were joined by one of the biggest stars in British music, pop sensation Lily Allen. Over the years we've had many interviews that have made the headlines, few more so than this one. So let's jump right in. Here's Lily.
Riding through the city on my bike all day, cause the filth took away my licence. It doesn't get me down and I feel okay, cause the sights that I'm seeing are priceless. Everything seems to look as it should, but I wonder what goes on behind doors. A fella looking dapper and he's sitting with a smile, and I see it's a and it's...
Lily Allen,
Hello.
welcome.
Hi.
Hey, we've been looking forward to this.
Not as much as I have.
Well, apparently so, because we'll catch up with all your cricket in a minute. But I mean, you've made quite a journey to come here, to be fair. I was talking about it earlier on. You're a busy girl.
Yeah, I am. I was here obviously on Thursday, and then at 11 o'clock on Thursday evening we went to Holland. I played there yesterday evening, got on the bus overnight, and then I drove here from the M25 this morning.
I was speculating, I think, earlier with Victor. It wasn't the old National Express type bus, is it? I mean,
No,
it was something
no.
a bit more comfortable than that. You had a night's sleep.
It's a sleeper bus. It's got my own bedroom in the back. But actually, I didn't get much sleep last night. I was tossing and turning.
Excitement.
Yeah. Nerves, Agus. You've
What-
got me nervous.
I don't think so. Now, look, what I did get yesterday was that you were trying to listen to the cricket
Yeah.
from Amsterdam, and you went to some pretty decent length, I think, didn't you, to get it?
Well, on my bus we had a radio, but it didn't have long wave radio, so I had to get. You know how some mobile phones you can pick up radio, so we managed to get one of the kind of sparks to literally weld the mobile phone to some speakers.
Right.
And we got you that way.
That sort of technical person is a
Yeah,
spark.
exactly.
Well, you showed me a picture. I mean, it was impressive, actually. That's sort of mobile onto, yeah.
Well, I've got another picture because when you do the walk from the dressing room to the stage was just when Broad started bowling everyone out, and then we got to the side of the stage and I was looking on BBC Sport like refreshing, and I was screaming and I was going, Australia, we're all out, and I was really, really happy. I'm really excited. So yeah, everyone was like, what the hell are you going on about? And I was like, cricket, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Johnny Burrell, he's a big cricketer, and he was playing there too. last
Yeah,
night,
he
wasn't
was. I think he's quite sort of famed for his cricket, his love of cricket. But and he was at the same festival yesterday. But I definitely had TMS louder than anyone else there. So I was the main cricket fan yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's brilliant. And it was an exciting day. I mean, did it come across as being quite exciting? I hope it did.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I mean, we kind of left here on Thursday and feeling a little bit deflated. And we were sad to kind of only catch the 7 runs from Freddie. And it was a bit it was not disappointing. But when we went to Holland, I thought, I'm not going to miss much. And then yesterday, it was like, wow, it was really, really exciting. But I guess that's cricket.
It is. And what about today? I mean, you'll be pretty pleased with how things stand, will you? You've been watching all morning.
I've been watching all morning. Yeah, it's been. I think it's good. We're just sitting it out, aren't we? Really?
Ashes coming home, you think?
Yes. Well, someone tweeted to me the other day, an Australian, saying we're going to bring the Ashes home. And I said, you might take the Ashes to Australia, but you're not bringing them home.
Now, when did all this start then?
I guess about the same time that I heard Freddie Flintoff had a wee at Downing Street. That was when I got interested in cricket.
Was it? Yes.
No, I followed the Ashes, in the 2005 Ashes. I didn't follow 2007, and then my boyfriend's very into it.
Right.
So we've been watching it, for the whole summer. But I personally think that it should be sort of 7 or 9 Test matches rather than just 5. I think it should be all-out war over the summer.
Do you? Okay, just play them all the time.
Yeah, war.
Well, it's
baby.
okay if we're winning. It's an unusual inspiration. I mean, I think I look back to the way I got involved in cricket, Lily, and I think of Peter Lever bowling at Lords or whoever it was. Andrew Flintoff relieving himself in the Prime Minister's garden. That must be an unusual way of getting involved in the game.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he got in trouble for that, by the way, didn't he?
Did he?
I think. Yeah, you just met his wife, haven't you?
Yeah, I just met her. She seemed very lovely.
Yes, she is.
And very beautiful.
Good, because I seem to have. I've been reading, obviously, some of your messages. I think you thought he was a bit of all right, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I mean, I think he is. Yeah, he's quite attractive. Not as attractive as Graham Onions.
Yes.
and not as attractive as Stuart Broad. I think, and lots of girls seem to fancy Broad. I personally don't. He's not really my type. I like a bit more rough around the edges, but. Yeah, he's kind of a bit of a pretty boy, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Actually.
Very good at cricket.
Very good at cricket.
Yeah.
Yes, this onions thing was a bit strange, wasn't it? Because I've got a little note here. You sort of have flitted rather from Flintoff to onions to Broad.
No, I don't fancy Broad. Oh, I don't fancy the other two. I find them attractive. Sorry, I know that they're both in relationships.
Yes.
As am I.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Onions was a bit surprised. I think he was quizzed on all this, but. He's a very quiet lad, you know, and I think he was a bit surprised by this sudden.
I'm sorry, Onions. It's all right. I'm over you now.
Well, that didn't last very long.
Players come and go.
Right. So with cricket then, Lily, where are we here? You like many, drawn into it in 2005, and that was great, wasn't it? You were actually following. Were you sort of caught up in the?
Yeah, I mean,
cricketing bandwagon?
my dad's really into cricket, and so is my brother, and I'm forced to kind of sit and watch sport all weekend. So, but I mean, I'm happy to, especially when things are as exciting as they were then and are now. If you know what I mean.
Yes, no, I do. But did you start as a kid? I mean, did your dad go off and play cricket?
Yeah, he used to play. They had sort of like pub teams, and we'd go every weekend over the summer, and the girls would sit up at the pavilion making sandwiches, and the boys would play cricket. I'm just getting to grips with the scoring and stuff. I just completely went over my head when I was a kid, but
yes.
Yeah, now I'm sort of trying to figure it out. I'm not really so sure about the extras thing.
Right. Well, they're runs that don't come off the bat, of course.
Right. Okay. So that doesn't add to the batter's score. It's but there's still runs that count.
It just goes to the total.
Okay.
And doesn't count against the
you,
bowlers unless they're no balls or wides, and they count against that. But they're important, leg byes and things. How are you getting on with the umpiring signals?
That one's good.
Oh, the crooked finger. Really bad.
That one's good. I've now got my own thing for a 4. Because everyone goes like that, don't they? Or is that 6? That's a 4.
That's a 4, yes.
Yeah, well, we do that instead, which is quite funny.
Sort of paddling?
Yeah, it's like a doggy paddle.
Why that?
I don't know, we just came up with it on Thursday, and it kind of caught on. Everyone was doing it in our stand after a while. It's brilliant.
Well, umpiring signals, they're essentially disciplined. Everyone has to understand what they are, but they do have their own. I mean, umpire Bowden...
Yeah, they've got their own styles, don't they?
Little bits.
There's that, and then he does... that
the crooked finger slowly. Others take a very long time.
That doesn't come across very well on radio, does it?
No. Leg byes, I think, are probably quite difficult to do later in the evening.
That's that one, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. See? Cheers.
I'll tell you what, it's coming on. And you sent me a message the other day about Chris Old. Now, why were you wanting to know and inquire about what Chris Old was
I was winding up my dad, and my dad, he's saying, I'm going on TMS on Saturday, and he said, ask Aggers why Chris Old, where's Chris Old gone after, was it the 1981 Ashes that we won with Botham and Willis? Yeah, there you go. He said, where's Chris Old? We're always hearing about both Beattie and Willis, but no one knows where Chris Old is.
He wasn't even born then, were you?
No, 4 years later.
Oh dear, feel very, very old. Your dad, obviously, Keith Allen, I mean, is he keen on cricket too?
Oh yeah, he absolutely loves it.
Right, good. So he's quite pleased you're
he'll be listening now. Hi, Dad.
So as far as the game is concerned, what do you reckon then? I mean, you're getting into the game.
Yeah, I think we're looking pretty good, don't you?
Yeah, but
I mean, when I say we, I mean England. Obviously, you being a BBC commentator are unbiased.
I'm impartial.
Yeah, of course.
Now, I mean the game as a whole. I mean cricket. I mean to a 24-year-old singer with all this sort of stuff. What do you think cricket itself as an attraction, as an entertainment, as a thing for young people to do? That's really.
Well, obviously what I do is I'm an entertainer, and my sort of shows last an hour. It's all very quick and sort of life in the fast lane. And I suppose what I love about cricket, and I should probably say this, is that I'm not into 2020 cricket or one-day cricket at all. I'm into test matches. I like the whole 5-day slog.
Right, because you are a traditionalist, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a traditionalist, and I like the kind of beauty of the game. The whites against the green, and it's, the sort of pace of it, and the fact that you're allowed to drink in the stands is great.
Important.
Which you're not allowed to do at football. I like so many things. I like the way that the umpires also have to be able to hear as well as see everything.
Yes.
Because it's always like, I always hear you talking about that's something that came off some padding rather than some wood.
That's right.
So you have to hear the noises, don't you?
Well, I think you do. Stephen Fry, rather surprised me the other day when he came in. He's a friend of yours, isn't he?
Yes.
He was proposing that umpires should be deaf.
Right.
which I
okay.
thought was unusual.
Well, then
because-
you wouldn't be able to tell whether
Well, I know.
it hit the wicket.
I would have thought you would, or hit the edge, or
hit the edge of a bat.
yeah. No, I was a bit surprised by that, but then Stephen is he's unusual, isn't he?
He is an odd man.
And see,
A lovely, lovely man.
oh, he is. I know. He does love his cricket. See, I'm a bit surprised. I would have thought that you would be more of a one-day girl, really. I thought you'd be out there. You're 2020. You'd be having all the coloured clothes and people jumping about, and in fact,
not
even
at all.
playing on finals day, which I don't think had a band this year, did it? Finals day they didn't, which is unusual. But I thought you might have been into that sort of
No,
thing.
I really, really like cricket. I mean, I love football as well. I support Fulham and I go down there as often as I can. But yeah, cricket is a kind of new thing for me to be sort of. I know I kind of am obsessed with it. I mean, I Twitter about it all the time. And,
Yes. Well, this is how it started, because I was sitting quietly minding my own business at Edgbaston. I think it was probably raining at the time. And I'm new to this Twitter. I am. And I looked how many followers you have, and that's obscene, frankly.
Yeah.
Over 1 million people. Isn't
Just beating Bumble.
he's a cheat. He is a Twitter cheat. He's massaging his figures. But you have over, I mean, what's well over 1 million? 1,200,000
I
people.
couldn't tell you. I don't really look at the numbers, to be honest. I stopped doing that a long time ago.
Well, I mean, it is incredible. But yes, these messages started to come through that you were stuck somewhere on the motorway.
I was on my way down to Somerset, and you guys dropped out. We couldn't
Yes.
hear you, and everyone kept twittered in, listened to 198 long wave instead of 170, or what is it?
720.
720.
That's sort of the London figure.
Yeah. So that was my first run in with TMS. I was panicking that we'd lost you. But we found you again, thanks to the Twitter.
Thanks. Well, I know. We keep plugging the Twitter because it's good fun, actually. I get a lot out of it.
It is good fun.
Including seeing you, a couple, because you've been really busy, actually, haven't you? Seriously, over the last few weeks. Oh, you've been all over the place.
Oh
And-
yeah, I've done 33 festivals this summer, which is a lot. In
It
fact, I'm
is.
going to V Festival this afternoon to play at 4:50. I'll be on stage, and then I'm playing tomorrow again in Stafford.
Right. And festivals literally just being one night and on you go. You move on.
Yeah, well, they sort of tend to happen over the weekends, or they tend to sort of start, everywhere in Europe on a Thursday, and then they, end on a Sunday. But obviously, you can't play the same festival every day, so we travel from festival to festival, and sort of on a bus usually, and try and do sort of Eastern Europe in one block weekend, and then the rest of Europe. Do you know what I mean? That's how it kind of works.
Yeah, it's exhausting, isn't it?
It's tiring, but I'm young,
Yes. I saw a purchase that you'd made of what appeared to be a very expensive watch.
Yeah.
I mean, you're so like my daughters, I suspect, in that you rushed out and bought this very expensive watch, and it seemed that it didn't fit. Is that right?
No, basically what happened was I was gambling, which is terrible, and you shouldn't do it.
I don't look at me like that. I don't do it.
I was more talking to the listeners. I was gambling in Monte Carlo, and I won. I put down one bet of €100 on 33, only because it was the nearest one to me in roulette. And I won about €4,000. And
grief. Well, the number came up, or
Yeah,
it
and I'm
was-
terrible with money. Like I'll just spend it. We're here for someone go and get around, and then you never get the change back, and blah blah blah. And so I got to the airport, and I just thought, right, I better get rid of all of this money, so I don't have it on me. I'll just buy something that will hold its value. So I bought this watch, thinking, right, okay, I can just have that and keep it, and it didn't fit.
Didn't fit.
It wasn't that it didn't fit, because you can get links taken out, but it just looked ridiculous. It was huge.
It looked big.
It was massive.
So have you got rid of it? You were selling it, I think.
No, I went down to Burlington Arcade to try and flog it, and I just was going to lose too much money, so I'm going to give it to someone as a Christmas present.
Oh,
Dad.
that's there you go. You give that away. Well, what a colourful life you have, Lily. I mean, it's interesting you do have that traditional side of you, that you like cricket.
I love
and
cricket.
5-day cricket. But isn't that an extraordinary balance of what you do actually do? And your background and all the things. I mean, 13 schools, Lily. How do you get through 13 schools? I mean, were you expelled from all of them, or just
No,
just a
no,
few?
I was asked to leave a couple of them.
All right, well, is that different, or is that the same thing?
It's
or?
kind of the same thing.
but
I won't go
13's a
into
lot,
I won't
isn't
go into what for, but yeah, I mean, I went to a lot of schools, but that was also because I moved around a lot. We lived in Ireland for a bit, we lived in Los Angeles for a bit when I was a kid. Moved all over London, and obviously you have to be in catchment areas at certain state schools, and we'd move out of them, so it just made sense to kind of move. Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't for bad behaviour.
Well, no,
all,
some of it was for bad behaviour.
all of the
granted.
time. Yeah. But you've always been a bit wild, have you? Is that fair enough? And I describe you as a party girl.
Well, who wouldn't be in my position? Having fun, naggers. Come on.
Well, that's great. But don't you get a lot of negative stuff as well, though? because you're out there and you're having
Yeah,
fun.
it's fine. I try to just ignore it. It's just, most of what you read in the newspapers is absolute rubbish. And in fact, today in the Sun, I think it said, I was here on Thursday writing on the programmes that I fancied all of these cricketers, and that we went for a drink with the players in the bar afterwards. It's like I was out of here as soon as the last ball was played. Anyway, that's.
Yeah, but that is interesting though, because you do have this microscope spotlight on you a lot of the time, don't you? There's photographs being taken here, there, and everywhere.
But that's the thing, really, is the photographs. And as long as they have a photograph, and they'll make up a story to go with it. The key is to just try and stop the photographs. That's what I'm working on presently.
But can you? I mean, it seems. Well,
I
look,
can. Yeah, I've taken them
very...
to court, and I've got a harassment order against them, so they're not allowed to come anywhere near me, really.
Really? That's interesting because, as I was saying earlier, I mean, I put your name in to do a bit of research. It seems that there has been a photographer around at times just when things have happened. About 6 months ago, it was literally like a red carpet outside my house every time I walked out of the door. There would be 20 guys with cameras, and then they'd all get in cars and follow me across the whole of London, wherever I was going, whether it be to the airport, and then they'd get out, clamber all over my car, scratch up my car. But do you mind? Well, you obviously do mind that sort of stuff.
No, I don't really. It's one thing I do not need is publicity, but I'm not embarrassed about things like that. I get annoyed when people make things up that hurt other people. That's what when it starts to get my family or boyfriends involved, and that starts to really upset me. But I don't really mind. Sort of. I mean, I put myself in this position, so I'm willing to sort of take some flack. But yeah, it's when other people start to get hurt that it irritates me.
Yeah. They're quite brave to take you on, aren't they? Boyfriends and things, because that opens up their lives too, doesn't it?
Let's not go there, Agus. Let's move on.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about your music, because I'm just getting into that.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was absolutely by accident that we played on Thursday.
Oh yeah, in Freddie's interview, I heard. Yeah.
Did it? Yeah, and it had your music, and I didn't know about that. And people thought that it was done on purpose.
It was linked. No.
Yeah, it was just sort of destined to be. But do you write a lot of your music? Do you do it yourself?
Yeah, I write all my lyrics and the top lines that I sing. I write everything. I kind of have a little bit of help with producers as far as the background music goes. But yeah, everything else is mine.
Really, from start more or less to finish. Yeah, remarkable. And I looked at iTunes to download a bit, and after every song, there was written in red. Explicit.
Yeah, I do swear quite a lot on my songs. Yeah.
Why?
Because I feel that it's the right way to express how I'm feeling at that particular time.
Is it?
If I'm just trying to, be angry, then a swear word might help.
Well, it showed me up. I have to be honest. The other day, I was sitting here. I'd got the lyrics for one of your songs, which I'm not going to go into.
Right,
except I was reading it off the screen, quite loudly. I think I was entertaining Malcolm, saying, "Cool, look what we got on the programme on Saturday. Look at this," and I was reading out the words quite loudly. When to my absolute horror, I looked just here to my left. I was 3 yards away, and there was a lovely woman bearing a cake.
Oh no!
And she said, "Agus, I brought this for you." And she heard me saying the most appalling language.
Oh no.
And it was quite embarrassing.
That is truly awful. Talking of appalling language, I think we should be able to hear more of the sledging.
Ah, okay.
Don't you think? I think that's how you're going to get more young people into cricket. We've got to get some more microphones down on those wickets. Those stumps, or whatever you call them.
Do you pick it up? And you can see it?
Well, you can see it on the TV, but you can't hear it. I'd like to be able to hear what they're saying. I think some pretty horrible things to each other to wind each other up, no?
Well, they do sometimes. I think it's a bit overrated, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, no, only because I've been out there and played a bit, and the sledging, as I remember, it was more Mickey-taking more than anything else. It wasn't.
Well, that can be quite mean sometimes.
Terribly nasty, but sort of.
I mean, bullying, I guess.
I couldn't bully somebody. I couldn't bully anybody. But it is in a way sort of eating away at your confidence.
Right.
That sort of thing. Shane Warne, who I think he's been trying to get in touch with, hasn't he?
Yeah.
We might go see him later. He was a brilliant sledger. But it's
and he had a good googly, I hear.
He did.
Yeah, that's what I know about Warney.
He'll probably. No, I'm not going to go there either. But back to your music, because it is going, and the lyrics and the way you do it. Is there much of a message? Are you writing seriously about about things?
No, I kind of try and keep things quite light-hearted and sort of funny. I do definitely touch on serious subjects, but I think that's more like me as a person. If I've got something serious to say, I'll try and kind of funny it up a little bit so that it doesn't look like I'm being sort of too earnest or something. But yeah, I mean, it's all fun and games.
Yeah. Well, I think the song I was referring to was about racism, actually. I think you're making a message there about the BNP and the elections and that sort of thing. So clearly that's something you do feel strongly about, and you've got a great platform, actually, for expressing your views, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I think it's important, for everyone to, be interested in their society and what's going on politically, and that's obviously something that's really, really great for me, is to be able to communicate with my peers in the way that other people probably wouldn't be able to, and yeah, that's what I enjoy.
Yeah, it's quite a responsible position too, isn't it? I guess if you are putting a political message out there, or not, or am I getting too old-fashioned and serious?
It's all fun and games. It's not. I try not to take things too seriously, and I try not to come across as being too serious either. It's just fun.
Yeah, no, it has to be. What do you reckon to this fellow singing? I mean, did you like all this side of it, the music and the, Sean Ruan out there singing his Jerusalems and Land of Hope and Glories and all that sort of thing? Do you like all that at the start? Like all whipped up?
Yeah, I do like that. My dad actually did a cover of Jerusalem for the World Cup about a long time ago, maybe longer actually, about 8 years ago. So I've liked that song. I like all the Barmy Army and all of the, the trumpet playing. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's a really good atmosphere down here, better than it is at a lot of football matches that I've been to.
And how does it compare with what you do? That's really something. I mean, how you go out on stage in front of all those people. I mean, is it like a cricketer going out in front of this? I mean,
I don't know, because I never played cricket.
No, but you've sat here and watched it. I mean, is it a completely different atmosphere? What sort of mood do you have to be in to go out and do it? How do you prepare yourself to go out there and face them all? I mean, tens of thousands, presumably. How many people turn up to these festivals?
Yesterday was 35,000.
Wow.
I think today will probably be about the same, I'd imagine. So yes, Glastonbury I think was about 60,000, 70,000. Sometimes it'll be 10,000 and sometimes it'll be 5,000. It kind of depends where you are and what territory you're in, and how well the record's doing in that place. But it's a very different thing. I mean, I go on stage for an hour. These guys, if you're Stuart Broad, will be on here for hours. If you're Freddie, maybe not. I don't know.
Well, we hope he is. He's in next, so no, we certainly hope he is. But I mean, are you at all? Well, you're obviously not phased actually by it. I mean, how do you get used to going on stage and performing in front of so many people?
I don't know, I mean, I kind of have a ritual. I like to turn up to a concert, 2 hours or so before and get a sort of feel for where I am and what the crowd's going to be like. I never go anywhere near the stage because that scares me. So the first time I'll see the stage is when I walk out.
Seriously? You don't feel it at all? You don't go out there and...
No. I mean, I might have, a little snoop around, around the front of the stage and stuff, but, kind of trying to be sort of as inconspicuous as possible. But, yeah, I mean, do have my sort of rituals. I do all my own hair and makeup and stuff, so I sit there and put some music on in my dressing room and, decide what I'm going to wear on that day, and, yeah.
Can you tell straight away how you're going down? I mean, if it's going well or if it's going...
Well, if it's going badly, you need to step up your game.
Yeah.
It's a challenge, and that's probably what I enjoy about it is, when you do feel like things are going a little bit flat, you really have to kind of try and pull it out of the bag, and there's people that have paid good money to be there, so you've got to try and entertain them.
I found an interview you gave when you were describing something went rather horribly wrong at an encore.
Oh no, let's not talk about those sagas, please.
Well, I'd like to, because
okay.
it amused me at the time. It had obviously been quite a successful one, hadn't it? And the cries, when you left the stage...
I was ill. Is this what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
They were shouting up for you.
I was ill, shall we say, and I went to the toilet to try and relieve myself between the last song and the encore. And as you can imagine, it was a bit of a stressful situation, and it wouldn't end, this stressful situation. And I could just hear the crowd going, Lily, 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 while I was sitting on the toilet. And it was just the worst thing that ever happened in my whole life. Yeah, it was really, really, really awful. So it took a little while for me to get back out there. But I explained to them what had happened, and they found it very funny.
That's not a good place to be, is it? It's like
No.
We've got a couple of questions from Twitter. Any plans for a cricket song? Says John in Shropshire. Now you're into the
You
game.
know, I don't rule anything out. Maybe. We'll see.
Inspire, perhaps if England win the Ashes, it'll inspire him
Maybe.
to doing something for cricket. Now, did Lily see any of the women's T20 World Cup? About lending your support to the women's game? Says Mazzy, whoever Mazzy may be, but a listener from somewhere.
Yeah, why not? I haven't seen any of it.
It's good for the game to have people like you turning up, though, Lily. I mean, it is, isn't it? I mean, it is seen, don't you think, as a traditional old thing by a lot of people. I mean, it's great for cricket that there are young people like you who've got a profile who are going to come along and support Test cricket, because people do talk about 2020 a lot and taking over the world.
I'm not into 2020 at all. I don't like it. Sorry.
There's no good asking you to come along to one of those games. But do you think you might, though? I mean, you haven't seen too much of it, have you? I don't suppose.
I'm just not interested in it. I'm sure that there are lots of people out there that are, and I've only just started getting into Test cricket, properly over the past this year, really. So, I don't know. I'd quite like to go to South Africa over Christmas, maybe, and come and watch the boys when they're playing over there, and. I'm definitely up for following it, but I like that's what I like about it. It's so, the polar opposite to what I do. It's so relaxing and sitting here and, just kind of watching the whole slog for 5 days. It's brilliant, and you can kind of get on with doing other things and then come back to it. And my life is so, fast, next thing. So it's nice to kind of have that contrast.
Yeah. I've read somewhere again that you were joking, I guess, about doing commentary when you gave up to be a cricket commentator. I'm not going to put you on.
I need to definitely spend a few more hours with my wisdom before I get there. But who knows? Maybe. I mean, it'd be nice.
Yeah, you're a
Nice thing to move
It's
on to.
easy, really.
Really?
Yeah.
Who gives you all your stats? You can't come up with them yourself.
Well,
Is that you?
my maths isn't very good. Malcolm's the man here with all this stuff. I mean, is this what you expected to find up here, for instance? This commentary box with... Malcolm cheats to a certain extent. It all comes
right, okay. Perfect.
up on there. Now, you didn't believe me when you sent me a message about Chris Old.
Yeah, you said he ran a fish and chip van in Cornwall.
I did, and you sent me... Well, it was a terse answer. I thought you didn't believe me, did you?
No, I said shut up, Agus.
You did, and here's another one. There you go. Chris Old runs a chip shop in Cornwall.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're
He
gonna
does
have
lovely
to go
chips.
there. Can we find out the name of the chip shop?
I
I'd like to go and visit Chris Old.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, there you go. Where did he pull his name from? Well, there we go. The afternoon's upon us. Oh, what have we got here?
Aww.
We've got a book. Cricket, celebrating the modern game around the world. Forward by Ian Botham. And it's being signed by somebody.
Aww, Graham Onions.
By Graham Onions.
Thank you, Graham.
Is his life ever going to be the same again, poor old Graham?
Maybe not.
There you go. But good luck this afternoon. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, no, thank you for having me.
It really has been. It's been an absolute treat, and I think what really impressed me through looking through it is you've got here yourself, haven't you? I mean, it's not been an easy ride for you up here. People look at glamorous pop singers and everything else and say, I want to be one of those, and expect life to kind of fall into place. But that hasn't been the case for you at all, has it?
Not really. It's been a bit of a, tough slog, but it's been good. I can't complain. I'm very happy. I've got a house and a flat and a nice car and some really nice people around me that work with me and for me, and I'm in a really, really good position. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long will it carry on for?
I have no
What's
idea.
going to happen?
I have no idea. I really don't. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I don't know if I'm even going to make another album. I probably will. But I definitely need to take a bit of time off because I've been on the road for 4 years now, really. And it is exhausting.
Yeah.
Before I go, can I
Yeah.
just say I'd really like the cricket whites to be a little bit more cream, if possible.
Ah, Lily, can I just say, and that is we haven't conferred on this at all, have we?
No.
That has been one of my biggest
Really?
beefs as well. Yeah, because it's supposed to be.
And
well,
also,
it
I
is.
think, I hate to say this, but I think that the green baggies are really cool. The hats.
Caps, I think.
Yeah, I really think we need something like that. Maybe we should just have some of ours made up in a sort of vintage denim so they look old. You know what I mean?
This is
Agus?
extraordinary. Well, you've taken
Help
my
me
breath
out
away.
here, Agus.
No, because I'm delighted that this, because I feel exactly the same way.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad.
And I have gone on about these clothes that England wear, which
I
are
just think they're a little bit too football.
they're incredibly white,
Yeah,
and other
they're
people
really
wearing
white.
creams, and you want the old traditional caps.
I
think
want,
that
yeah, I want caps and I want creams. Come on, England, creams.
Chris Old's Clipper restaurant. There you are.
There you go.
We've even got a map to it.
Perfect.
Go there on your holidays.
I will do.
Thanks for coming in, Lily.
Thank you for
Good
having
luck,
me.
Good luck with your cricket. You're the first person I've had on here who's brought notes.
Well, there you go.
Is that you? You're quite an organised mind.
Very. I'm a complete control freak.
Well, you kept me in check. Lily, thanks for coming in.
Cheers, Agus.
Well, I can't believe that's over 10 years ago. Lily is still a star and she still loves her cricket.